to Why They Play the Game, a show created to discuss the NBA on and off the court. I'm just one of your co-hosts, Michael Eric Owens.
And I'm Kenny.
Hey, my brother, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
Oh
What about
man,
yourself?
hey man, I'm doing all right, man. This is we are in the Olympic season. Let the Olympians stand up, Ken. So, have you had an opportunity to watch the men's basketball? I believe they've played five, I guess, exhibition games. And what has stood out to you? We talked a little bit about the replacement with Derek White coming in and Jaylen Brown not being there in our previous show. So what has kind of stood out to you watching this team? And especially we'll talk a little bit about South Sudan, but what are your thoughts?
I think they're gelling pretty well, Mike. I think don't I'll say one of the issues that I may have is that it's really not an issue, is that Kevin Durant didn't play in any of the exhibition games, but coming off an injury, they're trying to bring him back slowly. I wish he would, be able to get into the mode as far as the team is concerned. I think he's a impact player for them. I like the fact that there's always been a different person who's, let's just say, leading the team. Looks like there's a balanced team. Um, with the addition of Derek White, brings a little bit more just focus on defense on the wings. So I really like that. Joel Austin Embiid, I would like to see him get more touches down low because he just can dominate. And the other thing, I'll say on a, let's just say, consistent base, I see Anthony Edwards just leading the team and just being I'll say the focal point and the, let's just say, quote unquote star of the team. I like that too. So, I really don't have any qualms as far as the team has been playing. I mean, they were almost up by 20. I think it was against Germany. And then they kind of got lackadaisical and, game got close in the last period. So, but as far as that game was concerned, I mean, they could have won by 30, but they just kind of lost their focus. South Sudan, okay, we'll talk about that more intensely. But I mean, as far as the team is concerned, I like it where it's going, where it's heading. So nothing major for me to complain about. What about yourself?
Very good analysis, Ken. Folks, y'all want to get this analysis from Ken, you need to hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification button so you can get it every time here on Why They Play the Game. No, Ken, I completely agree with you, man. I think I'm gonna come just from a slightly different angle, but I
Okay.
agree with you. I think, man, Ken, when they've got out there and they've said, look, we're gonna show y'all what James Naismith meant with this game. And when that ball is moving and they cutting and they are it's beautiful. I mean, it's the you see these, man, Steph, LeBron, AD, like you said, Embiid, Anthony Edwards, you see these guys. Man, that game looks so pretty, man. When they focus and they moving the ball and they picking and they looking for the that opening, man, I'm telling
Right.
you, it is beautiful basketball. But Ken, you said something that is so important and critical with this team. You realize there are Hall of Famers on this team. I know you know that. I'm speaking to the choir. But you mentioned a lapse. You mentioned they got bored, so to speak, my words, that they just let their foot off the gas pedal. Ken, this is my issue with this team starting out because it's only one game, baby. This is I mean, we can step now in South Sudan. Okay, we can step there and say, okay, it's only 40 minutes. It's not 48. That means like you losing what, Ken? You lose 8 minutes.
Yes, right.
2 minutes a quarter. And so your margin of error in these games, and believe it or not, maybe I'm the one that's Ken, maybe I'm in the minority, but South Sudan got hacked the heck in the last play of that game. It's
They
like,
weren't calling
what?
that, Mike.
Man, they weren't calling that, man. They got hacked and ripped at and pushed and pulled and everything under the sun. I was like, oh my God, how many fouls just happened? USA wins by 1. Okay, so I have to say, man, and this thing that Gilbert Arenas had came out and said, man, and the only reason why I would mention this, Ken, because I think some things that some of these guys, these platforms, these larger platforms, and we know that Gil was a heck of a NBA player.
Oh
I'm
man,
never gonna take, mad athletic skills.
skip.
Just and his son is dope. Okay, let's just keep it. His son is cold, right? So we know Gil could play the game, and we understand that he is a very, influential, popular person. But I think, man, sometimes, as we always know, as the good books say, much given, much required. And so, like, you got this large platform, but you're speaking in a way that is derogatory, that is hateful, that is sounds like a racist. I'm not gonna call him a racist because I don't know the brother, but I'm saying that
Xenophobic.
that is xenophobic. All of that talk right there, man, it's dangerous, man, because if we had people say that about the US team, we'd be like, whoa, 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 what are you talking
Wait a
about?
minute.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I heard a right-wing commentator talk about how there's really no whites on the team. They're all blacks. And he said, so what about DEI now? Okay. See, this is what I'm trying to say. When you venture into areas where you're not well equipped to expound on it, like you took a shot at Africa. My question to Gil is, have you been on the continent? How many Africans from the continent do you know you've been friends with? I spent 6 months on the continent. I got friends from the continent. Man, listen to me. It was deeply troubling what he said about them. They have been building, NBA Africa has been building for years,
Oh,
and you
for
have you
years.
for years, man, and you got
For
cats like Embiid that's a product of stuff like that. And then to say Embiid through the game was trying to throw the game because he's from Africa. Come on, man. That can't these commentators, and again, I'm not taking a shot necessarily at Gilbert. What I'm saying is, as all of us, I don't care how large or small your platform is, you always should be socially conscious of what you're saying. And also, how about cultural competency, right? Like understanding another culture and respecting that, man.
right.
And either way, what happened was, we should be talking about the way South Sudan played that game,
Bro,
because that was a heck of a
right.
game. That might have
That
been
was a
the
good
best
game.
game they ever played. Okay. They stepped up to the challenge. Man, they were hitting threes right and left. They were running the
But man,
floor. Were they balling, Ken?
they was getting down. And I think you said it right, Mike, is that they did accept the challenge. You got these NBA, let's just say Hall of Famer stars that we see, let's just say starting in October, that, some of the best basketball players they ever played a game. So yeah, they like, we're not gonna back down. We're gonna, play as hard. And they did. That matter matter of fact, they should have won the game. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
they
just
should.
being honest. They
Yeah,
should
they
have won
should
that
have.
game.
Yeah, they
So,
should
but
have, Ken.
the thing about it, Mike, is that we should be talking about basketball instead of talking about Gilbert. I mean, he's outspoken and want to be, let's just say, controversial about just the stuff that he talks about. So sometimes you just have to you you got to put him to the side, Mike, because the thing about it is that as NBA players, or let's just say international players, you respect them, you play the game, and who wins, who loses, that's how the ball bounces, as far as I'm concerned. But he was just totally disrespectful, as far as I'm concerned. And there's as far as, I mean, if you're gonna commentate on the game, or basketball, or whatever the case may be, like you said, large or small platform, just be
fair and conscious. That's all,
Yeah.
that's what I would
Yeah.
say. So
Yeah, man, he was out of pocket with that one, man. And a lot of people can contest to what I'm about to say right now. Like growing up in anywhere, being black is a challenge. I don't care where you're at. But I'm saying these African brothers and sisters, they've come to a whole lot of stuff.
oh,
And for them to get to that level where they're competing, this is not, this is not the spoon fed. I mean, some of these cats on the US side, man, they grew up upper class, right? Rich.
okay.
AAU basketball, the best shoes, the best this, the best that. And then to denigrate people that didn't have that access, man, I think to me, that's why I'm trying to say, man, I would really like to see, and he probably wouldn't do it because he came, he doubled down and this, that, and the other thing. But I would really, because of the person that he is and because of the influence that he has, and I think there are things that that he does say that adds to the conversation. I would love to see him come out, man, and just, man, you just gotta apologize, bro. You gotta fall on the sword, bro, because you offended a entire group of people, man. Like I'm offended. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm not I'm bored
Hey,
here, but I'm saying you can't do that with other people, man. And I don't do you turn around and talk about Serbia like that? Do you turn around and talk about I'm hear about Germany like that? Are you gonna make a Hitler reference? I'm just saying, like, so what why target them? And I just think, as you said, Ken, it was just disrespectful and is beyond the pale. And if anybody's in his ear, I wish they would just say, man, come on, man. Because folks want to respect you. Folks want to listen to what you got to say. But man, when you take shots like that, that's just, nah, brother,
but
mic
Mike,
stops.
but let me end it this way, Mike. I'm gonna say about 20, 25 years ago, Bob Lanier took basketball camps to Africa to develop players and things like that, and high schools. I'll say high school students, just and I thought that was probably probably one of the best things that the NBA could have done. And
Mm-hmm.
with Big Bob doing it, nothing could be more better than that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I, all right, man. I guess it's enough because I could go on and on about
yeah,
just how
man, go.
disrespectful that was, man, to disparage a whole country, man, and a whole group of people. And Africa has 54 countries, thousands of
Right.
languages, and just to make a blanket statement like that, like Embiid is throwing it for the continent. You know what I mean? Just come on,
There you
man.
go.
That's kind of crazy. But so do you anticipate the USA having any problems going through this Olympic uh, journey toward the goal?
Mike, there's go. I always say that, and there's going to be a game or two that's going to be, let's just say, tough. They may have an offshoot night, or maybe foul trouble, or just a team that they're facing is just shooting the lights out. So there's going to be a game or two that they're going to, let's just say, struggle in. But I think they will come home with the gold medal. Uh, I mean, I think that they have the makings of just a strong team, which last year in the FIBA Cup, they had a lot of young talent, but not like the veterans that they have on this team right now. So
Yeah, when you watch them play, I mean, when the minutes that I see them put it together, like you said, I like how you put that too. That one is stepping up here, the other one stepping up there. Doesn't seem to be any ego or
right.
who's going. But I heard that the King's going to be the flag bearer, so it was some. I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, so I don't know, man. It would have been nice for one of the younger cats to carry it, man. But I'm just saying, like, somebody that was there fresh, first time, and somebody like that. But again, it's neither here nor there. The King's he's gonna carry the flag. So I really see like you do, like if they play, but I still say those lapses, Ken, that lapse in defense, like Sudan was hitting wide open
Yeah.
threes, man. Like I just feel like with one game and in that game too, the USA struggled from three early on. And so
Oh, yeah.
when you find that you struggling from three and you can't stop people shooting open threes, you are in trouble. And I hate to see them get behind a more seasoned team by 13, 14 points, 5, 6 minutes left. You might be in
Ooh,
trouble. So what I'm
ooh.
saying is
No, you are in trouble.
yeah, so I think like you say, Ken, looking at it, I think they should be able to handle their business. But this is what I'm trying to say. Okay. I know we're gonna talk a minute about the WNBA, and I mean I should be talking about the women's national team and how they beat Germany down. And I know that the talent
Oh,
level is not the same, but I'm saying like, bro, I want to see US come in and say, no, this is still our game. Like, no, we not going. We was up and you came back in. Now we won by 6 or 7. It's good. No, it's not good. No, it's not good. You need to go out there and dominate. And I want to see them dominate. And hopefully that's what they were, they were waiting on. I'm not gonna kick in the kick it in the fifth gear until I get to the point where I know I'm looking at the goal, right? And dominate. But
right.
I have not seen that separation. And I know there's been some games where they pulled away and looked great, but I haven't seen that total domination like we've seen in the past where we're like, oh nah, bro, you might as well just give them the goal right now. Why they
So,
even going to Paris? You know what I mean? Like it's a wasted trip, man. Just give them the goal right now. I can't say that, Ken.
what about the game against Canada?
Yeah, I mean, and again, I felt like Canada, especially that second half, I felt like they just tried some different things because they starters really didn't even play a whole lot in the second half. And so I can't take that game too serious. And I think also on the USA side, they were still kind of Kerr was working with lineups and this, that, and the other thing. So Ken, I just think, man, it's going to be a little bit more pressure, and competition is going to be a little bit higher once you know that. Guess what? This is trials are over with. This is it. Okay, we lose. This is single elimination round. We lose. We go home, and don't nobody want to go home without some type of medal. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
Like
true. Right.
some type, it be bronze, silver, gold. You want to go home with something. You do not want to go back empty handed, especially, United States is gold or bust. Let's just be honest, man.
Oh,
We get
yeah,
to
that's
silver,
true.
we like,
But
man,
Mike,
come
I'll say this. I think the quiet star on this team is Jason Tatum. I
on.
think JT is going to be kind of the player that you need in the clutch and play some, I'll say, solid minutes for the USA roster. So that's just my prediction. So
Well, I mean, he's definitely when he get in, he got one thing on his mind, and that's
oh
scoring and
well,
getting to
yeah,
the hole.
right,
I mean, you
yeah.
can see when JT get in, he like, I'm about to punish you. I'm taking you down low. I'm going to the hole. Like that. I don't know. Maybe they gave him a minimal that we just need you to be very offensively aggressive. And that's what he's
And
done.
that's a
And
good
I think
thing.
and I think he's done a really good job of playing his role and coming in. And I agree with you. And Edwards, it's almost kind of, and I hate to make comparisons, so I won't. I will say, but it is like the younger dude on the team that everybody knows he's coming. Right? We've seen that scenario before. We've seen the younger dude on there, and we know he got that ultimate confidence. He's coming. The difference is the young dude before, oh, he started. Oh, and the young dude before, you couldn't do it without him. Let's keep it real. The team was built around the young dude. So so when we look at when we look at the USA basketball, okay, we can see that they have been. I'm talking about the females now. We or the women's basketball. Okay, so when I say male or female, is no disrespect whatsoever. So I don't want nobody get mad at me. The women's national team, yeah, I mean, easily win over Germany. I mean, they came out. I think it was like a 22-9 or whatever. Second half, they came out 7 straight points. It was never really even in the question of whether or not.
You're right.
Then they have Japan coming up in Paris, and then Belgium, Germany, and so I don't know, man. I think when it comes to the women's game, we're still completely dominant. But let's back up for a minute, Ken, before you speak to that. Talk a little bit about the All-Star game, the women's team, and then the All-Star game with the the WNBA All-Star players. What you think about that game, man? Now this, and keep in mind, they had lost, but the Olympic team had lost before to the
Right, yeah.
so I think this is the second time that's happened. But yeah, speak to that.
Man, let me say this, Mike, before I even go into there. Angel Wilson is a beast. I don't care what anybody say. That just go on and give her the MVP of the league. Right,
MVP,
exactly.
MVP. Yeah.
Man, but anyway, that was a good game. I mean, I watched the entire game. It, halftime it was close. It was just a good all around game for I would say for both teams. It was in the hundreds. So a lot, and then the thing about it, Mike, it wasn't like these teams were not playing defense like other, let's just say, all-star games. So they were after each other.
Yeah.
And I think that was let's just say, I'll call it a wake-up call for the USA team going into the Olympics.
Yeah.
It was just a tough game that, you had to be, let's just say, conscious of what you're, on the floor. We know that, quite a few players played, but, the thing about it is that the WNBA All-Stars, they was like, look, we're going to show you. And some probably, wanted to show them that I deserve to be on the team.
Enrique.
So, bro, man, she went to work. 34 in the second half.
Milwaukee
native. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enrique got skills, man. I don't care what. She can splat out ball. Like,
she's a baller, Mike.
We're not talking, and again, we're not talking gender. We're male, female. We talking about balling. And she, man, I just like her game. I've always liked her game, man. She's smooth. She go out there, she get it. She works hard, and she hit big shots.
Yeah.
Okay. Big shots all up in her face, man. She just pulling up from the three. I was step backing. I was like, you go ahead. Home girl, do your thing.
She was working.
Work. Oh yeah. And she should be on that team. I mean, the argument about Caitlin, I get that argument, but man, it ain't no way, man. Enrique should not be on that team. And she showed y'all.
Right. And she's second. She's a second leading scorer in the WNBA. Oh, definitely. But let me ask you this question. Caitlin and Angel Reese, if they were on the team, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Man, I really would.
Well, the key is this. First of all, we have to say who we're going to take off, and we couldn't make a strong argument for anybody. But I agree with you. My point I'm trying to make, Ken, is this. Man, I think that All-Star team probably win gold.
Right. Oh, man. Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it real, man. If that All-Star team was in the Olympics, they would be meeting up with the national team for the gold, man. They're just that good. I mean, and it just shows you, how close the level of talent. I mean, and I'm talking good talent, right? that's in the WNBA. You don't have that large parity as you have really in the NBA. You can see, man. Caitlin was able to hold her own. Angel was out there doing her thing.
Man.
I mean,
I tell you who else had a nice game was Breonna Stewart.
Oh yeah, man, man, every game. I mean,
right.
To me, Brianna is just one of those people where, it's almost like a Giannis effect. But even with Asia, it's almost like every night what you're gonna get from them. They gonna come out and ball. I don't care what else happens. You can say I don't know if Kelsey Plum's gonna hit 5 or 6 threes. She may, but you don't know that. But one thing you know about Asia, she gonna eat you. She gonna do whatever she need to do. You understand that? And Brianna to me is just one of those players, man, where every single night, and Taurasi is still doing her thing. I mean, she's out there still playing ball, still being consistent. Oh man, come on, man. These are Olympians, man. And when you talk about a team with dominance, now anything can happen. Okay. But what I'm gonna say is, man, I like the way they play. And I like how they get after it. And I thought that was a heck of an all-star game. And that's how all-star games should be played, man, with that level of intensity and get at it. Not we got 4 minutes left and now we're going to play some D and we're going to get busy. No, man, stop it. Okay.
So, Mike, on the women's side, remember I told you about, earlier I said about Jason Tatum. He's going to be your, let's just say, your quiet superstar.
Mm-hmm.
I think on the women's side, I think it's going to be Brittany Griner.
Yeah, she hasn't played yet. Yeah, she hasn't played yet. So, she jet lag or something. Some they said. But so you think she's going to be? You think she's going to be? She did practice. So she did practice. So she is. I think she kind of. Man. Listen, anybody that spent that much time in any jail overseas, spend 1 day, 1 hour. If you get on the plane, you going back overseas. Man, it's got to have some sort of psychological effect on you. And so I can imagine what's going through her head, just going through that experience, going back overseas. And but so you think she's going to be that secret weapon?
I think so, Mike. And the reason why I say that is that, like you said, going back overseas, she has something to, I think it's more of a dedication than anything for her to be in the position that she is in now. Let's just say 6-8 months ago, she probably wasn't even thinking about the game. So I think it's just a rededication, to herself and to her team and to her. It's more about performing than just anything for her. So I just think that's the mindset she's going to have.
And I know one thing for sure, she's gonna bite down on gold. When it's all over with, she's gonna bite down on gold. So, folks, tell us what your thoughts are about the USA team and the men and the women's team. Share your thoughts if you've been watching some of the games. But Ken, I want to deal just a little bit with the media rights deal that affects both for the league. And we know that the NBA announced a slew of rights worth $76 billion over 11 years. $76 billion over 11 years. And this while adding new partners, of course, Amazon and NBC. Now, and we do know that 2.2 or 2.8 billion, 2.2 billion over 11 years, 2.2 billion over 11 years is going to the WNBA through this media rights deal. Now, let's also understand that the current WNBA media rights deal is $60 million. So they're going from 60 million to 2.2 billion. And in light of your commentary, let me just give you just a little backdrop on Cheryl Miller. A lot of us know Reggie Miller's sister, Barry. We could say some people even argue she's a GOAT of women's
Not
basketball.
argue. She is a GOAT.
She's definitely a trailblazer. Open up a lot of doors, this, that, and the other thing. And Cheryl was not having it. The 2.2 billion in her mind was not adequate. And so she tossed out a number more like 8 billion. Now keep in mind, the league has lost 10 million just about every year it's been in its existence. In its past years, it's estimated that it will lose up to 50 million due to, of course, the private flights and things of that nature. There's more expenses, in other words, charters. Exactly. Thank you, Ken. There's other, expenses that are happening in there. So, Ken, what do you think about the new deal? What do you think about Cheryl's response? And should the WNBA be just call it the W, because it's earned that sort of respect. We don't even have to put NBA on it. They earn that respect, in my opinion. The W, how do you think they should feel about it?
I mean, it's a let's just say good money moving forward. I think the game is in a good position as far as the players that they have currently. The thing that I kind of worried about is will they continue to lose money year after year? I think they need to find a way to be profitable so they can, let's just say, have a higher salary or minimum salary for players, in which they're going to get with that increase. That's a lot of money, Mike. The other thing also, Mike, go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother.
The other thing, Mike, is that, don't take the money and run. I think they have to do a lot of work ahead of them as far as marketing the WNBA, because, you want to make this where people say, I got to watch this game tonight. Let's just say, I'm giving you an example. So let's just say it's on the men's side, Boston, New York. Like you running home and you gonna eat and you gonna sit down, and this is a game that you're gonna watch, game of the week. The WNBA has to do the same thing as the NBA so they can make this profitable. The other thing also, Cheryl, you go from what was the initial amount? You said 50 million?
60 million.
60 million to
2.2
billion with a B?
With a B.
Man, come on. That's
with a B. Yeah, bigger than a Benjamin. A B.
I'll take that all day, Mike. I'll take that all day. And the thing about it, we have to remember also that the NBA was funding the WNBA.
Still is. That's how they got that 2.2 billion.
Right.
That's on the strength of the NBA.
Right.
Because Ken, let me just interject. So if we took the W away from the NBA, the male, and put them on their own and say battle for media rights deal, do you think it would be 2.2 billion? Okay,
no,
I don't know. It would not be. So on the strength of what the NBA brings to the table and how they support the W, that's where it makes sense at.
And the other thing, Mike, I thought, let me put it this way. I think that the WNBA has to go out, I'm going to say out of region to market their game. When I say out of, so there's cities that they play in. They have to go to other cities to do exhibitions, camps, and stuff like that to promote the game. That's going to be, to me, that's their, I'll say, nemesis as far as what they're missing. Because, if you live in Indiana, you're going to go watch the game. But if you have exhibition games in, let's just say, Milwaukee, or let's just say Oakland, or, somewhere in San Antonio, or, things like that, you have to promote that game more than anything.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the extra income that comes in will allow for some of these players to invest more in the game on the state side of the house when it's off season, You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, because, I don't, and then I'm speaking from a place of ignorance, because too, I don't know, I haven't followed, girls high school basketball or AAU ball. I haven't had a chance to follow all of that. I'm late to the party. I'll admit that. I'm getting up to speed. But so I don't know how much is happening out there, Ken. But I think, in your point, there could be a serious, like, investment in developing, these off season kind of things that not only bring more young girls into the game, but exposes more people like myself, you, and others that don't have the opportunity to touch the game. And I think, you can, and I know, there's going to be some people that's going to hate what I'm going to say, but I got to say it anyway, because this is true. This happened because of the buzz that occurred between two players, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. That carried over from college into the W, and that desire to see Caitlin play, no matter where she goes, she's selling out. You can't argue
Oh,
it.
definitely.
People want to
Right.
see her play.
Say that. Right.
That's just where it is. And the question is, how do you, because she's not the best player in the league. See, that's that's what people need to understand. She's the most popular player, but she's not the best player. So how do I get people to want to see the best players? Now, she's one of upcoming best players. I can't take a rookie, just like I can't take Victor and throw him into the same conversation with Giannis, with KD,
Yeah.
with LeBron, with all you. No. You still a rookie, and you still have not proven anything yet, right? So she is not, I would say, man, I don't know, Ken. I don't even know if you said to me, and I can't give you my list right now, because I would have to go back and really break it down and look more. But I don't even know. I don't even know if I would put her in my top 10 right now in the W. I'm just saying, like, there's some ballers in the W that I'm just like, dude, I love watching them play. And then we got others that are coming up as well. The trick is this, Ken, like you say, how do you take this money, not only benefit the league, the players, but how do you expand the game and the awareness of the game? Because I think if people really got a chance to see it and experience it, then they'll come back, because it is a good product.
But Mike, you talked about expanding the game. I'm not talking about just in the States. I'm talking about internationally.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what the NBA has done a good job at. So I should say that I'm going to assume that the WNBA is trying to do this, replicate what the NBA has done as far as internationally, as far as young players and people who try to get them interested in the game, instead of these players going over to Europe or wherever they may go, how about they coming over here to try to get into the WNBA? That's going to be the key for them.
Yeah, that's the key moving forward. I mean, you have a lot of international players that go play college here. There's some international players, of course, that's in the W as well.
Right.
But I agree. I think that when you look at, if you try to mimic, and let's just be honest. I mean, this is when we go back to the GOAT conversation. When you look at what Jordan was able to do internationally, it was this opportunity going to the Olympics. So much buzz around him, so much buzz around his career, so much buzz around Magic, Bird, and all these other people, right? Like, you had these well-known figures, which I think helped to expand the game, because they were like rock stars when they went over there. Man, they couldn't go anywhere, right? And so I think it's going to take some of, Asia. It's going to take Caitlin. It's going to take Reese. It's going to take other players, whether it's Plum or whatever. It's going to take other players and they may be doing this. So again, folks, don't kill the messenger. We on why they play the game. We just having a conversation. This might be happening, but I think even if it is happening, this media rights deal, I think, gives them a better platform to reach out internationally and to say, look at this game. And now, man, it couldn't be a better timing, Ken. Because listen, you get this new deal coming up next year. You're gonna go to the Olympics, you're gonna put your foot on the throats of everybody, and everybody is gonna be inspired by them. It's going to be the same dream team effect. Everybody's going to be inspired. They're going to see Asia play. They're going to see these people play, and they're going to say, I want to be in the W. And that's part of all of this. I want to say to Cheryl, I don't know Cheryl, respect Cheryl, love what she did for the game, everything. Cheryl, just a little bit more patience. Just a little bit more patience. You've seen the game evolve. You a reason why we are here today talking about the game. Just be a little bit more patient. I believe the money's going to come. Man, these things are so hard to build. I mean, think about how long baseball's been around. You know, football. I mean, like when you're trying to be a major league, it takes a long, long time. And I'm happy where they're at. I never can. If you had asked me before that all this excitement with Caitlin and Angel and the others, can I see them getting a $2.2 billion media rights deal coming up? No way. I said there's no way. If you told me that a lot of the games, not the majority of the games, but a lot of the games are going to be sold out this year in the W, I would have said you lost your mind. There's no way that's going to happen. So what I'm saying is they have already showed us, like, we have a great product and we just need the support around it to help build that. So Ken, I'm excited to see what's happening over there. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Brother, it's been a great show.
Yeah.
You give us the last word, brother.
So Mike, we talked about, you call it the WNBA. So next show we should give our listeners that our top 5 WNBA players have to be WNBA players. So we'll
current
give that
players.
to the,
current.
Yeah, well, no, just
historically.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a rough one, but got to come up with 5.
No, I think I can. I think I can get there.
Okay.
All right, folks. As always, the world of sports unites us. Let us take this unity in our everyday life. This is why they play the game.